Hello everyone, welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. I'm Royalmixgaming, and today's stream is going to be 365 versus all the other kingdoms in this KVK. Right now, this is the Pass 7 opening, and we're going to be viewing, I think, like 2 to 3 other passes. I think it's 2 that will have 365 defending the pass or trying to push through the pass. This side, I think, was a little bit more... they're willing to push through the pass and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and get a quick glance at some of the kingdoms that are in this KVK, just so you guys can get know which ones are in this KVK. That was the wrong kingdom. There are 4 Imperiums in this KVK if you guys don't already know this. It's 2244, 2338, 1875, and then 1365, which is in Fire Camp, because they probably do have the most power out of all these kingdoms, even though pretty much all of them are Imperium. Somebody just dropped Imperium right then, but 365, as far as I know, unless something changes that I don't know about, they are versing all 3 of these technically Imperiums, because they should probably just go right back into Imperium pretty quickly anyways. They are versing all of them right now. This side of the map, I think it's the top part of the map is JST has their fort over here against 2244, I think it was. And then we scroll over here, there's like double the forts. There's going to be BLN and OG, which is 365, versus the other kingdoms that are over here, 1875 and I think 2338. I may have said those wrong. I think those are the only 2 passes they can get to right now, since they're in the top part of the kingdoms and stuff like that. That's basically what we're going to be looking at, is these 2 kingdoms colliding, or 365 colliding with them here. I think the amount of marches on this side of the map is a lot higher than the other side, but for some reason there's a lot less, I would say, field fighting, which I'm not sure why. It's basically a full map of troops and there's a lot of lag on this side of the map, so I really don't know why I guess that they don't hold the pass maybe, but I'm assuming they should just push through this pass in my opinion, but because they have so many marches over here, it's super laggy, like super laggy on this side. Yeah, I feel like they probably have more than the other side, but I haven't seen them push through the pass very much yet, so I'm not sure why they wouldn't push through the pass, but so far they haven't, so we'll go ahead and glance back over here once we think there's some actual fighting here. I think they're maybe preparing for a push, but really haven't seen them push too much, at least from what I've been looking at. This side, however, with a lot less people, a lot less troops, JST is pushing, so that's a good thing. I think there's a rally on the pass, or somebody's swarming the pass on this side. Somebody was just swarming the pass, probably. I do think that JST would be the 365 kingdom definitely would be one of the kingdoms that could do a 3v1 and probably win. And so far they're holding their own. Good thing is they hold at least one of the 2 passes that I think are accessible right now to the other kingdoms. So that really helps them out trying to do that. Also, we have our KVK coming up from ZT. 216, but ZT mostly, and then FE. But we're registered for Heroic Anthem, and there are, I think, 278 kingdoms registered for this Heroic Anthem matchmaking. So in about 2 hours, we're going to be seeing our match, what are going to be our opponents, things like that. Hopefully we get a good match. Some people won't like it, but I want to be matched with an Imperium. Whether or not we would go against them or with them, all depends on, obviously, diplomacy. But I really would like to have a really good KVK and have a hard fight, or have a very exciting KVK where we have a lot to get going on. So hopefully get some good opponents in this upcoming KVK for 216. If we don't, it may be like a 3v1 or something like this, because we really do need a hard KVK. The last KVK was a little bit too easy for us, so I'm sure everybody's ready for a pretty good KVK. So nothing on this scale, but definitely a much better KVK than the last one. I don't believe that any of these forts have burned yet on this side of the map. So we'll go ahead and, I don't think they burned any of the forts over here. I sincerely doubt it, at least. Looks like there is going to be a pass rally. JST has burned one of the forts at least once, so that does help them out a little bit to be able to, or at least we know that they can burn a fort, but it's possible they left it empty since they have so many forts to backbuild and stuff like that. We'll see if we can't get any of the Jan Zixa, I'm probably still saying it wrong, those reports, but I haven't really seen him used just yet. I feel like a lot of people are waiting for some reports from like a KVK like this to get a better understanding if he's worth it. I think that's probably the best odds, is to see if there's any good reports here in a KVK like this. So far I'm seeing a lot of Xeno Flav, which obviously is really, really good. Xeno YSS, good but not great. But a lot of open field on this side, a lot less on the other side for reasons I don't understand. I definitely think they could have pushed 365 on the opposite side with the amount of people they have. But there will be a rally coming, I believe, from one of these players on this side. From this player here, Leo. I believe she might be rallying the pass, but it may have been they had too many in the hospital and got helps or something, I'm not sure. But we'll see if they rally the pass here. And then we'll look on this side for a little bit longer and see if the rally comes. If it don't, we'll check the other side and see if there's a rally. So I'd like to see if there's any reports, like I was kind of saying. But there's a lot of field fighting on this side compared to the other side, which just doesn't make any sense to me. But it's mostly probably because JST is the aggressor on this side, even though they don't really have to be, because they own the pass. They don't really have to be the aggressor. But I think that the JST players are going to get sandwiched here if 875 can push. But I think they're a little, I wouldn't say scared, but they're not ready to push that far into the pass area. There's definitely no small amount of marches here fighting, because the 4 Imperium KVK is really, really good. I'm just glad this isn't like a the new heroic anthem where you stack up, because JST I feel like would be maybe a little bit hurt by that, because they're going to stack up, and usually the opposite sides should have more players, so it's going to be a little bit harder for JST with more of the experience and better players. Probably have the better players overall to do better, so that helps them out also. But I don't think they're going to rally this pass, which is good right now because they don't have the field, but I also been seeing that like Nevsky and Joan has been a rally, as kind of the chat's saying on my Alliance chat. I think it's a good rally, Nevsky and Joan, but I really don't know that it's better than XY and Nev, because XY ramps up over time. I don't think that Joan really does. So I think if you know they're not going to reinforce, it'd be pretty good. There is a rally on the pass now. I think that's a rally. I think that's a rally. Pretty sure that's a 22-44 rally. No reinforcements, so it's going to get exploded here in about 5 seconds. And wee. Or they canceled, either way. But I really would have surprised they didn't push harder, because I feel like they should have more marches on this side than JST does. But could just be that the qualities are so much higher from JST, and they're able to keep them on the left side of the pass here and just swarm stuff down and send them all home. I feel like the only people here that are like having a really bad time are the people that bring like Bakal Herald and Charles and like Herald and stuff like that. You're gonna have such a bad time in this with all the AoE. Go ahead and glance at the other side of the pass here in a second, just to see if the other side had the nerve to push on JST or not, because I don't feel like they did, and I don't feel like they will, but we'll go ahead and check that here in a second and see, because JST is definitely holding this left side of the pass and being able to hold the ground and push back over time, because this ball on the right far side from, I think it's 875, and maybe some other kingdoms in this area, but they're not really pushing, they're just kind of back and forthing. So that's not going to really help them in any way. And a lot of it's staying on this right side, so then like anybody that goes in the JST ball is just completely obliterated in like 10 seconds. Because there's a lot of lag here for most people. You can see a lot of Tommy debuffs on a march that like this Guan and stuff, and he's just gonna get melted. And he's getting sent home here in a second. A lot of Nevskys and Jones from JST. XYs and probably William, maybe Honda. Probably Honda most likely. So the one guy with Edward. That's probably worse than Pakal and Harold and all that stuff out here. You see that stuff? That was boom in like 2 seconds. There's a Nebu getting obliterated. Good thing is, though, I'm not seeing a lot of a huge commander difference, I would say, between the two that are fighting here, the two kingdoms. I think it's two kingdoms mostly. There might be 3 or 2 with like 2 on one side and 1 on the other, but I think it's mostly 875 here. It may only be 875. And I'm seeing some like Richards and some of those kind of things on this right side that's going to cause some extra issues, but there's a JST Richard too, so it goes both ways. But definitely one heck of a fight here with JST. But I feel like JST is definitely slowly but surely just pushing right real slow and smashing marches and just pushing real slow as they get reinforcements from the pass. Slowly but surely. Let's go ahead and check the other side real quick and see if there's anything happening. I imagine there's probably not, and I'm probably scrolling way too far over here. Let's see if this massive murder ball ever pushed. It looks like it's just a standoff still. Like one person going through. I mean, the amount of marches they have over here is it's no small amount. But maybe they pushed earlier and we just missed it. But it could be that JST needs to push on them, but I feel like that this side could definitely have pushed through the pass and at least tried to do something, because the other side's getting pushed. Like, if one side's being pushed on your allies, you should be pushing to try to relieve the pressure on them, I feel like, because this is a very, very dense ball of marches here. And I looked at this like, I don't know, an hour or so ago, and I haven't seen it move. So it's either really AFK or they're just waiting for the JST 365 to push them, which I don't know why they would, especially when JST is doing, you know, decent on this side. Why would they need to push on you if they're pushing on this side? Same kind of scenario. Call Herald Rally. It definitely works, but it got obliterated because there was no reinforcements. I think that finally 875 is getting some reinforcements from 2244, I think is the kingdom. 875 was here for a while though. Maybe some of these people are on the other side somewhere, but they're finally getting some reinforcements from the other side here on the left, which is what they needed because JST was just inching towards them. Got a king skill from both sides, I think, and they're dueling it out on this left side. This is when 875 needs to capitalize on this. It could be lag, but they really need to just push. I know you could hit allies, but like, you guys need to push this top part. That's what I would be thinking about, because you're kind of wasting time while this ball at the bottom left's getting smashed by JST. You need to kind of double up on them. Can't just let them go back and forth and smash it, basically. So hopefully they do that, but it could just be lag that there's so many marches behind too. There's a lot of skill damage and stuff on the screen here. And I'm not sure if it's better to have Joan or Nevsky first. I'm really thinking Nevsky first is better, just because you're getting that debuff first rather than doing the Joan first. Because either way, you're still going to fire Joan's skill twice. A lot of skill damage. I also have some food in the oven, so I'll probably have to go check that here in a few minutes to go see, since it's like dinner time for me, how it's doing. So I can already smell it from up here, upstairs. I think that they're starting to push a little bit on JST on this bottom left, but I'm still thinking this is just lag. I'm seeing all this, but it might not be. So I'll reload it and see, but I think it's somewhat laggy. Some of it's lag, some of it's not. Definitely most of that was lag, but they are starting to push JST into this back left corner, which will help them. Because if they can push the route from the top with 875, they may be able to cut off the reinforcements from the pass a little bit to kind of push JST back behind the pass. But it also depends if this murder ball from 2244, I think, is able to keep pushing, because I'm not seeing any reinforcements. And a lot of them are hanging back where the JST march is just eating a lot of the 875 marches. And they're starting to just stack back up and get more reinforcements. I think the push from 875 was too weak too late. Because this 2244 ball is just retreating now. And we're back to the same scenario of JST push to the right. And OG, I think it was. They all push us to the right. And this 2244 murder ball's getting low. So maybe they have to walk further. I haven't checked that. It's definitely possible they have to walk a ways. Starting to see some reinforcements from this side, but I don't know if this will be enough for them to really push JST enough, because we'll see. Unless JST is refreshing. It could be that JST is refreshing now. Could very well be, because I've seen a lot more earlier. I think they may be refreshing because they're starting to lose some ground here. Because 875 is starting to stack in this top right. Yeah, I think JST is backing off and refreshing, because a lot of them had pushed down left, and then 875 was starting to cut them. So should see a rally on the pass probably here pretty soon, if there's not one coming already, to kind of push them at the pass here. If JST doesn't like immediately just push back, but which they could. Now 875 has a foothold on this right side. And I think JST is kind of backed off behind the pass, where they can kind of just AoE people right in the front of the pass. So there's still a few people on this left side, but it could be just their AFK. So I think JST is going to have to regroup and push back through the pass, because I think 875 and them kind of stacked up on them, where it's going to be kind of difficult to push out unless they push together. We'll also check the other side again, because the other side needs to push. I'm not sure if it's their downtime on the other side or something. For one of the kingdoms maybe. But they're just not pushing on that side, which is kind of an issue for the allies here, I feel like. Because they can at least try to push through and take some pressure off this side. Maybe if JST has to move people to the other side if they have to. There should be a rally coming anytime now, because they've kind of got the control of the field. They could maybe double rally this pass. They should be able to double, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they can't double rally this pass. Unless there's a flag connecting somewhere, which I'm not really seeing that. 875 have... I'm not sure if there's any forts from... So there are forts back here. So unless they've like joined the opposite coalition, maybe. If they have two coalitions, maybe they could. So we got 244. I think they may all be in the same coalition, so Unless they drop Coalition, I could be misreading it, but it's probably just going to be a single rally. Unless they can drop Coalition and then double rally the pass with maybe 875 in one of the coalitions. If that's what the kingdom, it's that kingdom, so their fort's further back, which it could be just because they're from a different spot on the map, why it's so far back here. But it's a ways away, so I'm only seeing 2244 forts and stuff, so it's gonna take 875 a little bit hard, more time to refresh, I feel like, so. I'm pretty sure this is 2244. Yeah. Somebody's doing Kahar. Is there a rally on the pass, or is somebody swarm? Oh, there's a Call Herald on the pass, which I honestly think at this point you should be using Cav. But they may just want to burn some infantry, but I'm not seeing a lot of reinforcements to this rally. It's already yellow. The pass is still white. So that Scipio hitting the rally? They canceled. Yeah, there was not enough reinforcements for one. So is 875? No, they're all in their own coalitions, it looks like. So they would have to, like, I don't know if you can, since they're not touching the pass, they probably can't. And they're not from the same kingdom camp, they probably can't. I think that they had, like, positioned maybe in one of the 875 forts a little closer, which maybe they couldn't in the time frame, but that would be the main way to get a double rally. Unless you, because I don't know that 875 can really get into the coalition anyway to, like, help them reinforce the rally. All they can do is help field control, which they're doing pretty well because they have it probably more than 2244 here. So we should see a rally on this pass here pretty soon. Hopefully a better one than the last one. We'll go ahead and check this side because this side had a lot more marches. Is JST rallying the pass, or is this just back and forth little nonsense that's been happening for like probably like the last couple hours, which I don't understand. Nope, there's a Henry Nebu and a Harold probably Pakal. Yeah, Harold and Pakal rally from BLN, which I don't know that the Henry Nebu, it's got a little bit of counterattack, but I think maybe you're gonna get some AoE, so I guess it's still a good rally. I just feel like I've gotten better results from like Boudica and Henry, but if you like the AoE, then definitely Nebu's pretty good too. Helps you out a little bit, so we'll see if we can't get one of these reports that let's see here. It's probably gonna take some time for this to come back. So we'll see if we can get one of these reports. I know that the Pakal Herald's gonna be a painful one. I think that there was gonna be much better results from the Henry Nebu. I think they counter rallied that. They counter rallied at least once with Attila and Nev here. Having a lot of lag here though. They may be trying to even swarm down. I'm gonna have to go and simplify a little bit here. Try to get a little bit better picture of what's happening. I think the JST canceled. Maybe. Maybe not. The Herald's still going. Not seeing the other rally, but it could be bugged. But I would imagine it's not there. So they can keep this Pakal Herald basically going for a very long time. And we'll see if we can't grab somebody. See how that Henry Nebu did. Just do a couple people and see if they'll share a part report. There's another Xeno here. Pakal Herald's still going. This could go on for a really long time from Pakal Herald, so I imagine it's just gonna be an even report. There's no real damage from the Pakal Herald. So they are doing a buff to the rally. I think they're trying to buff the rally with Xeno and Cleo, which I think maybe Xeno and like Trajan or Mulan or something, maybe. She might be healing the rally, but you're not really getting much heal off that Cleo, so maybe you get defense or something. I don't remember exactly what you get from Cleo. I know it's a heal and maybe something else, but I know they're doing it mostly for the Zenobia buff to the rally, which gives you like 20 to 30% health. But that's not going to last very long because this Xeno's going to die pretty quick if they come out of the pass. Yep. And then the Xeno's gone. But buffing the rally does definitely help, so. I'm going to go ahead and go check on my food and stuff for dinner. So I'll be right back, but go ahead and keep watching this here. We'll try to get the report once it's over, see if somebody will send it to us. So I'm back here, but just so you guys, I'm probably gonna mute myself for like a few minutes here, and I'll unmute in between eating, just so you don't hear the smacking of everything, you know, or anything that you don't want to hear. So we'll keep watching this pass for a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and swap to the other pass once this rally dies, or if we get a report somewhere. But I think this rally just got about imploded right now, so we'll see if we can't get the report from somebody in this. From here for that Pakal Herald rally, and then we'll go ahead and I'll mute myself for a little bit and eat a little bit of food here. So Seems like I did get the report from some of these people for the Henry Nebu rally, and I appreciate. Nice stream. Thank you. I can't say your name, Patel the Great. I'm not gonna say that right, but I really do appreciate you. I've seen you here before, so I thank you for watching the stream and stuff. But this is that Henry Nebu. It did get swarmed down, I think, is why it got kind of imploded. A lot of swarm here. But you'd see the telling tale. You put that Call Herald on the far right and the archers on the far left, and it does a really good job. Especially if they swap to YSS and you're just being careful that you're not getting the AoE. So 2-to-1 trade in favor of 1365 here in OG. Troop buffs here. We've got YSS, I think. I'm not sure if that's YSS's skill. I'm not sure whose passive skill that is. I do believe that's YSS, but I could be mistaken. And there's Joan of Arc. And then we've got, I think that's Constantine's 40% health for Imp, which is a very powerful skill. But we'll go ahead and double and triple check. I'm pretty sure that's YSS's skill here, though. With the boat, yeah. That's a pretty powerful skill, too. Just 20% all damage whenever you're below 50% for a rally is extremely powerful. So we'll go ahead and keep scrolling through that report and see if there's any other AoE, but I know that when you get Swarm Archers, it's usually pretty good. That hurt a lot for that person. That's all T5, that hurt. Don't ever swarm with Trajan anything if you don't have to. That's just painful. Just hurts. A lot of just little AoEs from like Nebu here, but even like a Nevsky Mina swarming this just hurts. Counter tech is really good here though, so that's what helps this rally. And JST is gonna keep this full. So if you swarm 3 mil with 400k, you're gonna get a bad trade, especially against one that has pretty high counter attack. And you can just tell here that like they kept this full like most of the time, like 2.8, 2.8, 2.8 all the way through here. Even as you scroll probably even further, it's mostly going to be pretty high until they swarmed it with probably like a lot of people, and you start seeing the even trades and stuff like that. But this is definitely a really positive trade from JST and 365 side here. Now the Call Herald will be pretty telling if it's a good report or not. But yeah, just the same Henry Nebu. But yeah, the reports for the Henry Nebu is definitely good. We'll see if we can get that Call Herald, but I imagine it's a even trade, so we'll go ahead and wait a little bit on this side because there's no rally. Should be coming probably as soon as I leave, but we'll double check this other side real fast. See what's happening over here, if there's a rally or anything happening. Waiting for it to load. I'll go ahead and drop simplified since it's not so much. Could have been a rally, maybe, but I'm assuming that person probably just got too close. So we're gonna wait a little bit here and just kind of watch this for a little bit and eat a little bit more, and we'll wait for a rally. We'll check the other side in between to see, excuse me, which side gets a rally and see if we can get some more reports. So I'll be right back. So I definitely think that JST is going to keep doing that, and 365 is going to keep doing that. Pakal Herald and like Henry Nebu on the side get a lot of AoE and stuff. So oh, it's you, Rick? I didn't know. I think I may have known a while back, but I have seen you here a lot, so I do appreciate you, man. Should see a rally on this side though, since this is such a heavy ball on this side. But definitely 365 and them should keep doing what they were doing on this side. Which is rallying the pass with that double rally. Which is what you should do, which is what the other side should be doing with 2244 and 875. That's what they should be doing on that side, is double rallying the pass. But they're not. So after forever, 2238, I can't say the right number, it's pushing through the pass after, I can't tell you how long it's been since they pushed through the pass. I feel like I've not seen them push through the pass very much. So I'm going to go ahead and mute again since I'm still eating, but we can go ahead and see all the skill damage they're about to do. Just one full screen of skill damage is just great. I think it's a lot of lag, but that's a lot of skill damage, that's for sure. I probably should simplify, but if I don't crash, why not? Yeah, Rick, that's fine. I thought it was, I knew it was somebody, but I didn't know. I haven't been streaming a lot lately, and I'm trying to do it more now since I've got my own place. So I really do appreciate you watching either way. But I mean, you changing your names, it does get confusing. I know what that's like. So I imagine this is a lot of lag, but it is still a lot of skill damage. I imagine a lot of these marches are already dead. Hey Dustin, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching the stream, man. JST, and they should not have launched that rally. That's such a mistake, man. That rally's gonna get swarmed. It went from white to red in like no time. It might stay up because they're good at reinforcing, but it's gonna be a bad trade from the past if it's not been there for a while. The amount of reinforcing BLN and OG had to do here, probably just BLN because I think they're opposite coalitions. To keep this rally alive, it's pretty impressive. I think they were even swarming this rally, which Call Herald's good at getting swarmed, but I felt like 2238, if that's the right number, had the field here for a little bit, and they got this back up to yellow, and it's even trade now. It's definitely going to be a big dip in the front, but they filled it right back up, which is really good to see. Imperiums definitely should be able to do that. This rally's probably going to go for quite a while, so we'll watch this for a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and swap the other side and see if they're getting another rally on the passing on the other side, because I imagine that, I think it was 2244 and 875. They should have been able to rally the pass from what I was seeing. So let's go ahead and check the other side. I think that this rally is going to go on for quite a while from the JST BLN kind of side this over there. See if there's a rally on the pass. Not really seeing one. I'm seeing just a lot of field fighting still. Is there a rally on the pass, or is that just somebody swarming? I think somebody just swarmed the pass, because that's... No, there's a rally. There's Nutella here. Hard to see. You can see it at first, but I don't imagine it's going to last very long. I think the Attila's still on this pass, maybe. It's hard to tell with all the... I would need to simplify to see it. But I imagine it got canceled. Especially since all the JST people, marches and stuff are pushing out of the pass. King's skill from 875 to push. One of the telling things on the other side that we were just looking at, that 2338 is not super active, is that huge murder ball behind the pass. So little of it I felt like went to the other side that a lot of it's AFK, unfortunately. This side from JST is really active from them, so that's why they're able to hold their ground so much more. It's a lot more active players ready to go. So I'd imagine that 875 is going to try to push him here, but 2244 is going to have to launch the rally. So, yeah, I mean, XY Joan would be really good for a lot of skills really fast, but I think you can get a little bit more value out of XY putting like XY and Honda or XY William. Because then Nevsky you can put with Joan and get the double skill, which makes Nevsky fire faster. You can't really make XY fire faster. I'm sure it's good, but I really think that probably Nevsky and Joan for open field's probably the best pick. I would definitely put Joan secondary to Nevsky, probably. I think putting her first, I think people are just going to target her because they know she didn't have a lot of defense. But I have seen her put first, but I have some reports on my other account that show like I used Nevsky and Joan secondary. Joan's not max, but if you can get a hold of a target, you can definitely do some damage. But I haven't really been able to like super hard test it. Excuse me. Because a lot of the fights we've had in Kingdom 2000 up to this point have been literally like 5-minute fight and they run away. So even though I have Joan like a decent skill level, and next week we'll stream, if I can, try to stream my the wheel for Joan again, because I'm going to try to make my Joan like 5-5-1-5 in that stream, and then probably do Scipio the same way, like 5-5-5-1, and see where that kind of gets us. But if I could share you some reports from Joan that I feel like are really good, I would, but a lot of the fighting I've had, it just isn't enough to really share it. It's just been like, either we swarm them down or they run away, basically, so not a lot of reports there that are really good telling of what's going to be the best pair just yet. And I really don't think I'm going to do her on my main account, the one we're on right now, because I got to save up for the next archers. Since they didn't do leadership, and I don't know if they will, it kind of accelerated the path to getting new archers, so I kind of have to do that. So I already did Boudica and Henry and Monty and Argy, so and I have the gear for archers, and this rally is being obliterated. And I know you canceled it. I think that was a rally at least. May not have been, but either way, it was getting heavy swarmed. But I have the gear for archers right now, so kind of hoping for a garrison. I honestly like garrisoning better than I like rallying, because I feel like I have more control over what's happening. You can always put more troops in the the garrison, but I don't know. I just kind of like that better. I guess you have a little bit more choice. It's kind of the same reason why I wish that Amani Artie was a little bit better and a little bit tankier, because I like that pair a lot. I like being able to just put that in the flag or something and use it, but a lot of these cav marches, man, just melt me. Well, not melt me, but they definitely hurt. It definitely hurts. Especially if you can't swarm it down. So we'll go ahead and check the other side, since I think this side's died down a little bit. 875 kind of backed off along with 365, so let's go ahead and see if this rally for Carl Harold's still going, because it would not surprise me if it's still going. So we got Cav, no, Archer. So same setup as like 20 minutes ago, roughly 10-20 minutes ago. So this Henry Nebu is just eating away at this pass. Easy 2-to-1 trade. What's your opinion on Takeda? First skill kind of useless. It's a shame. He was a legend. So I have Takeda on my second account. I maxed Attila Takeda like a while back. Not when they came out, obviously, but because my second account's much younger than my main account, like a year or more younger, maybe more than that. I really think Takeda can only go with Attila. You have to have him max. You have to have them both max. I've tried using Attila and Takeda not max. It just doesn't work the same as max. It's just not. It just doesn't work good enough. You really have to have a max. I haven't really seen too many support skills though from Takeda. I've seen Attila support skills, but not a lot of Takeda support skills, at least for Heroic Anthem. Overall, as commander, I wouldn't invest in him anymore. I really wouldn't. It's just not. It's not as good as it used to be, unfortunately. Honestly, as soon as I can on my second account, I'm replacing Attila Takeda with basically anything else. I think that I might even be able to replace him already with Joan if I use a lot of like Honda and Scipio and some things like that. Even though I like using a lot of Cav on that account because I have a lot of gear towards Cav, and my infantry equipment is like a lot of blues. A lot of blue. It's so sad. It's so sad. But my legendaries on my alt for my Cav equipment, I'm working on like 3 or 4 like full legendary sets. I got one done so far, and my second one's getting close. So not special talented. That account sucks with that. There's no special talents, obviously. Make like 15 to 20 legendaries. Nah, not even one special talent. I haven't refined yet, but kind of my plan is to like make it 5 times. So either way. But to answer your question, just again, I just wouldn't do it. If you haven't done it, don't do it. It's not worth it, unfortunately, anymore. He doesn't even really go well with like Saladin anymore. Saladin just, he needs a buff. Saladin needs a buff to really go well with Takeda and stuff. Because Takeda is very tanky, but just doesn't do a lot of punch. Yeah, those legendary items take so long to craft. Yeah, I mean, I kind of do my kind of pace with legendaries on my second account, which I'd spend way less on than my main account. It's kind of just doing it per KVK, so you kind of just save up and make them. I only made like, I think it was last last stream or the stream before this. I think it was the one with like, I think it was last stream when I did the Joan wheel. I think it was. Can't remember. I have very bad memory sometimes. But I made like 2 or 3 legendaries, the weapon and the pants, I think. And then I was completely out of materials. And I don't think I've made anything on that account for like, I don't know how many months. And yeah, it takes forever. But it's worth it. I mean, like I was saying, I have blues on my infantry, which is so sad. It's so sad. I don't like showing it. It's so sad. So, but yeah, it does take a lot of time. That's for sure. A lot of time, or you know, obviously the opposite is the same thing. A lot of money. So. I'm not wanting to bother that same guy, same person. Sorry, this person, Ranger. I don't want to keep bothering that person because they might be R4. They might be very busy. They were pretty chill last time I asked them, but I don't want to keep bothering them because like if they're busy, like I know how it is when you get bothered sometimes when you're doing stuff. So it's really appreciate them sharing that report though. It's a good report. I imagine it's pretty similar to the last one, just might be a little bit better because it may have went for a little bit longer with this Pakal Herald. But this Pakal Herald's just like not dying. The pass is like beat red and the darn rally's still yellow. I don't know if it's been going for this long or not. It may have been reset, but I feel like it hasn't been. But we weren't watching it the whole time, so I can't say. It's maybe that same person I asked before, so see if we can't get this person or a couple others to share this report. I do imagine though it's going to be like 1-to-1 or like the Flavius is just going to punish this Pakal Herald. Really depends on like the gear and stuff, which should be top tier, but and you've never seen people jump to swarm Attila faster than you see the 365s. This Attila's getting swarmed already, I'm pretty sure. Tommy buffed, it's going down so fast. Blink of an eye, this is gonna go down. You know, as soon as it came through the pass, they like all jumped for it. It was like, oh my gosh. 15 stacks of Tommy, goodbye. See you later. Nice try. Oh man. Never see him jump so hard from Attila rally. Every time this Pakal Herald hits yellow again, I feel so bad for the other side. And it feels so bad. Just like, yeah, we keep this yellow all the whole time. It could be bugged, but like it's been yellow forever. It could very well be bugged, but they're definitely keeping this Pakal Herald topped off. Lost sight of the rally a little bit, so I'm gonna simplify for a little bit and give it a little bit of time to load up a little bit easier, so we can kind of watch the rallies for a little bit longer. And then we'll check the other side, but this darn Pakal Herald rally, man, is not dying. I imagine they're gonna do another Archer rally before this thing dies. I don't know if I believe that it's still yellow, but They're definitely keeping it full. Xeno YSS is not going to do the job for this right now either. I know they swapped to Xeno Flav, but it needs to be Xeno Flav like the whole time. YSS just doesn't cut it anymore. So let's go ahead and check the other side, since this Call Herald will never die. He's still yellow and everything else is red. Let's check to see if they pushed out over here. So kind of the same ordeal over here. JST is keeping them close to the pass and just punishing anybody that comes into their ball. While this right side of 875 and maybe a little bit of 2244, it's just kind of either lagged out or not fighting. Let's get the music going again. I think I cut out here. Let's see if that's going to be on shuffle or, it'll probably just go straight through. So we'll figure that out as it goes. But this is kind of the same story as it was before a little while ago, but JST is doing a good job of, I feel like, punishing all of the people on this side of the map, because they're just dragging them in, smashing people and sending them home. Real easy, real quick. So you can see like just streams of sad faces all the time. You're seeing a lot more sad faces from 875 in them, even though I feel like 875 probably has the field here somewhat. But if this whole ball would push at the same time, it would help too. So we'll see if we can get that report from somebody else, but I'm sure there's a lot of just filling it with whatever you got kind of accounts and stuff too. Call Herald still yellow. Uh-oh. They better have a garrison swap, because that's Charles. Belly. Picking your nose. So sad, 65,000 normal attack on this darn pass from that darn Belly primary. Have a good night, Rick. Thank you for joining the stream for while you could. Do appreciate you. I hope this is still not Belly primary. It's gonna hurt so bad. Like, so bad, it's not even funny. Let's simplify and see if we can't see something else real quick. That's gonna hurt so bad. Oh, they swapped. I got lucky there, but that like minute. Oh, they canceled, or oh, they took the pass. Yeah, having Belly primary, man, is just bad. That really hurt him. That was like 65 to like 80,000 normal per turn. Pretty sure this is now JST. Yep, BLN's got it. They're gonna have to swap to something. Maybe we'll see some Cav Garrison, maybe. We'll see. Most likely we'll see Xeno though. Here comes a push from BLN and OG. Here they come. So whoever's AFK over here, your march is about to be sent home. You best go home now. There's so much AFK on this side of the pass. So much of it. We'll go ahead and unsimplify and see if we don't explode. Just a small explosion, just a little bit. Probably gonna have to simplify again though, because there's gonna be so much AoE. But just a small amount of damage. So much AFK here though, like they're so stacked up. This 1365 is just gonna slowly eat on this stuff. So we'll go ahead and simplify just to not lag so dang hard. And we'll zoom out and zoom back in so we don't lag so darn hard because there's so much going on here. That's not nearly as fun, unfortunately, so never mind. I can't see anything going on, so let's just go ahead and not worry about it. As long as we don't crash, we're good. Explode something. Surprise JST, or well, keep saying that, but it's not just JST here. BLN and OG haven't swapped the garrison yet on that pass. It's still Guan Yu, unless it's bugged out, which very well could be. But hopefully they change that or it updates here pretty soon. But as you can see here, there's a lot of BLN, OG, super far in here. It's so much AFK. So much AFK over here. That's the main problem with just having so many people, I feel like, sometimes, is you just have such a stack of people sometimes that it doesn't really work out for you if they're not online. Because they're pushing all the way down. Some of it might be lag, but obviously a lot of it's probably lag, but excuse me. As you can see, BLN is definitely pushing to the far left and right, even though there's so much marshes here. So we're gonna head and zoom out and see if that pass is updated and update like what's going on here real quick. Give it a few seconds and see if we can see the dots. Still a lot of marches, but I feel like they're starting to thin out from the front of the pass. Still have not swapped that garrison. I guess everybody's too busy field fighting to give a crap about the pass. They probably haven't been able to push through by themselves for most of the day. I feel like I don't think 365's had the pass at all on this side yet. They really do need to swap that garrison though. So we'll see if they update the garrison, but that's gonna go really poorly if they don't. There it goes. Xeno and probably Flavius or YSS. Flavius would be really good. It's probably YSS though, yeah. I assume YSS because it's hard to get a garrison in right away when you didn't expect to take the pass from them. But they're definitely pushing in here all the way down. Who is your favorite commander in this game? Tough question. I wouldn't say I have a... It's a tough question, to be honest. I would say Boudica, but that's because I have the good gear for archers. I honestly like XY a lot. Even though he gets punished a lot, I think not just because he gets melted. It's not really the why I like him a lot. It's kind of weird, but every time he does his skill, it could be just me, but if you guys have your sound turned on in game, you can kind of hear him laugh and giggle, or that's how I kind of say giggles or laughs, and then he hits you in the face. That's what I always thought was funny about XY is he kind of goes ha 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 and then like punches you in the face every time he does a skill, which I always thought was funny. So I feel like for like overall XY for like my account and my like what I've used, probably Boudica. So, but yeah, I like XY overall, probably. It makes me laugh every time he does it. But all that AFK-ness just got obliterated by BLN and OG here. They just cut through it like butter and like nothing left. Have you seen Charlemagne's active skill? Isn't it like a big bird? Something like that? I have not seen it in a long time. A long time, but I think it's like a big bird. Isn't it some kind of like big bird from the sky or something? I don't really remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. You know, you don't see it very often, obviously, but I know I've seen it. Is it Charlemagne? I mean, I've seen it, but I think it's a big bird of some sort. It looks cool, obviously. It's kind of weird, but I just like the sound effects a lot for some of the commanders. They sound funny. But I'm trying to think if it was Nugget that had, was it Max Charlemagne? He rallied somebody. There's a video on it somewhere. I don't remember if that was the commander or if it was somebody else, but I feel like it was Charlemagne on that video, but I think it's like a big bird. Like kind of like a bird or a sword or something, but it's a little weird. But yeah, I think I've seen it. Don't even get me started on William. That stuff's just, that's too much. He's just like, yeah. I mean, I would say it's not necessarily cool, more annoying because it's just you hear it so much. It wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't everywhere. But man, all you hear is hooah, hooah, hooah all the time. You can't hear anything else. You can't ever get the giggle out of XY. You can't ever get any of the other sounds. Or like the horse whinny from Jadwiga. Yeah. It's it wouldn't be so bad if there wasn't so darn many of it. But it's definitely, I like the animation. It's not too bad. It's definitely unique animation and unique, like, I don't want to say skill, but like area of effect. It's kind of unique. I thought that's kind of cool. And I do like how they did with Joan of Arc. I don't know if you guys, like, when you watched her skill cycle fire off, it's like the big spear coming down. But if you look closely enough, she also does her like what she usually does in the epic version, not the prime version. Is like that buff and the big circle. She still does that in a little bit different way, but I'm glad that they kind of kept the same, I would say, design and just switched up to like a more cool like spear, because her spear in like the epic version is not that cool, but definitely the spear when she does it the other way is much more cool, I feel like. But I'm trying to think of any other commander that I like a lot for their skills or something. I do like Nevsky's skill because it's just like big damage and you just always see the big skill damage. I do like Henry too, his skill. I don't like what it sounds like and I don't like I don't love it, but I like the bow. I like bows a lot, so I do like that Henry kind of has like an actual bow firing off. That's kind of cool. Still seeing OG and BLN here. They're getting pushed a little bit, but I think they kind of showed their might here when they basically cut through butter and pushed all the AFK out really fast. Because there was like all this red territory, which was blue territory, I think, was all marches, and then they just obliterated stuff. But I'm trying to think of any other one. I do like Artemisia's skill, but it just doesn't do enough for me that I love it, but it's not too bad. I'm trying to think of anybody else. I'm thinking though, yeah, I mean, definitely XY is my favorite though. I do think Scipio's skill animation is cool though, with the shields and you kind of spear through. That is definitely cool. Definitely looks cool. But it's very similar to like Leo's, and just like they went like, hey, let's make a better Leo version of the skill and do a lot better job. It's like, well, come on. They could have done so much better there. It's also cool that they keep the kind of the Boudica same skill animation with her, just like a better one. Man, all you ever hear at a pass, like if I had, because I don't have like I don't have the right PC for this. I don't have a PC. I have a Mac right now. I can't hear the audio here. I don't know how to set up that audio. But I'm telling you, all you would hear right now is freaking William. All you would hear is hooah 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 everywhere. And then if they had Jadwiga in the past, it'd be the Winnie, and it's so stupid. But and then you hear XY occasionally giggling on the side, like he's like, "Oh, I'm doing a good job." But yeah, that's all you would hear. Unfortunately, they're a little bit too powerful of a noise or sound effect. It's a little bit much. Definitely, the Jadwiga is annoying. I hate Jadwiga's noise. It's so annoying. If I want to hear a horse, I'll go outside somewhere and find a horse and listen to them. Not on game. It's too annoying, especially when it's every like 6 seconds or something. It's so annoying. It'd be better if they just didn't have sound effects and had kind of like not that they didn't have sound effects, but they didn't have like such obnoxious sound effects. I would say such obnoxious sound effects. Some of them are just obnoxious, like just obnoxious. They're so loud. Other than that, though, commander-wise, I would say the rest of them are kind of... There's probably something I'm missing. I do like Pakal's in a way. Because he does like the spinning staff kind of thing, which is kind of cool. Other than that, though, I mean... I do like Honda, too, with the same reason. It does like a spinning staff. I like that. There's nothing like exceptionally cool about it. Other than that, it's kind of like a swish, you know, with like a sword or spear sound. But man, I can never get over XY sometimes. I think one of the weirdest ones, though, maybe not weirdest, but I would say the one that maybe it was a little bit harder for them to do was do like Trajan animation, where he like does his buff and then like jumps at somebody. Like, I bet that took some effort, because like you have the Leo skill with like I would say like the shieldman like spearing stuff, but I feel like the Trajan's like actually like he's half moving when he does his animation, so it's a little bit harder, kind of like Attila's does, where he like basically bursts out of his character. You know, those take a little bit more effort. I think I would think, maybe they don't, but they definitely feel like they would take a lot more effort. But looks like BLN and OG here is getting pushed, but which I would expect. Like, this side of the map had a lot of marches, but not a lot of power. Like, they got cleared, excuse me, really quick. Oh man. But BLN and OG, if they can keep this pass, they'll probably push them back again, and then probably won't rally anything because they they can't hold the field very long because there's just so many people. But I've definitely reduced it down to like a fair fight for them. So. I'll probably go ahead and check the other pass here in a little bit and see if they're doing anything else on the other side. Some people, man, they make you giggle when they laugh and they say something to you like that. It's just hilarious. It was a good rally though, I'm sure. So let's quickly check the other side because I think BLN and OG here is going to have to like regroup. So they're kind of getting pushed like JST was over on this side. I imagine there's a rally on the pass. Nope, JST is pushed out, which is a little surprising to me. Like, where did everybody go? JST is running over people now. That surprises me a little bit because they all like go to sleep at the same time. They all just back off and go to the other side or something. I don't know. Got a Gilga, probably Henry. Yep, Gilga Henry on this fort here. I definitely think they're gonna burn this fort because JST is not afraid to swarm, and I don't see a lot of reinforcements to this fort, so it's already yellow. Good old Tommy debuff on a rally really is painful. That 15 stacks on that Gilga rally just punished it so hard that it couldn't keep full. I think they canceled it, so 875 is trying to push back. It could be that they got pushed and they had to regroup and push back, but I don't think anybody's swarming this fort. I think it's just bugged. I think it's just bugged that it's on, but whoops. Could be that like 875 or 2244 went to the other side because BLN took the pass and pushed out. They were like, we need to support them maybe, but I feel like this side was already a little bit outnumbered, so thought I had to sneeze there for a second. But yeah, I feel like JST's got this side down because it's probably getting. I think it's late for JST though, isn't it? Is it Korea? I don't want to say it is and it's not, but it's like 6 o'clock for me, I think, roughly. It should be early morning for them, I feel like. Probably. But obviously they've got probably all time zones. Should see another rally on this pass once there's some reinforcements from JST and the other alliance here. I can't remember the name of it. JG, it's very similar to JST, so should see a rally on this pass since there's so much pushing on the field. There's some more JST and probably JG coming up from the bottom here. Probably going to rally this flag, but I think burning... It really doesn't matter if you burn the flag, probably because they've got it double forted somewhere over here, so like it doesn't really matter. Probably burning the fort would be more painful, but maybe they can get it burned, and probably ain't going to get anywhere because it's just for fun. And like on past 7, it's just for fun anyways. You're never going to get very far unless you can actually like dominate your opponent. And I think this was more of just a repositioning problem that happened on this side. More so than it was like they're just getting outnumbered. I think 875 is a ways to walk compared to everybody else. I'm not seeing a lot of 2244. I'm seeing a very small group over here, well, maybe just like a couple players. I don't know if they're on the other side, maybe. It's very possible. But a lot of their territory is over here, so I'm just seeing a lot of 875, so not sure where they're all at exactly. It could be their downtime. I don't know. But it seems like 875 is pulling a lot of the weight over here right now at this time of day. A lot of JST coming to support this push on their murder ball from the bottom. JG and JSTs. They seem to be just slowly inching them further and further from the fort so they can probably rally this fort. And if you guys weren't here at the beginning, 216 has their KVK opponents probably revealed here in about 40-50 minutes here. We'll stream this KVK until we get our opponents. We'll show you guys those opponents. We have to do like a restart or something. But we'll show you those opponents, see if we get something good, and then we'll wrap the stream up in about an hour roughly from here. Excuse me. The JST is pushing, I feel like, a little bit too far. A little bit too far for them to overextend, because like, you're not going to be able to rally this fort if that's their plan. Not that it matters too much, because there's probably 2 forts over here, but it is what it is. Wasn't there 2 forts over here? I might just be blind. Yeah, there's a fort here, it's just not showing up. Just not showing up, the big blank spot. A king skill from 875. See if they push any further, but they really need some support from 2244. I think that's the kingdom. To be able to push JST away from their forts and stuff. Because they're just too far away, I feel like, to be able to reinforce and get a good murder boss going for them. JST is just slowly but surely eating away at it. There is some reinforcements for 75 coming in, which will help them out because they're much closer now than JST was. That's why I was saying it's probably not best for them to push that far. There are some BLN players, well, BLN exclamation marks, I mean it's a little bit different. But the 2244 small amount of people that are fighting over here are just causing some nuisances, or however you say it. The JSTs, I feel like, is overextending themselves here a little bit. They should really fight a little bit further back until the rally comes and then push this far in. But they're definitely pushing them either way. So we'll see if JST launches a rally, but they don't really need to. Don't really need to. Is this probably 2244 is pushing from bottom now? And all of a sudden, all these people start coming, but I don't know. All of a sudden, like a bunch of people start coming out to swarm like somebody, when they could be pushing up and around a little bit. I feel like, but they're definitely pushing 875 over here with JST. So we'll wait a little bit longer and watch this for a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and glance back at the other side. See if there's any rallies going on, or if BLN is just cutting butter on that side with OG. I feel like that's probably what's happening over there, is a rally on the pass, and they're just pushing out here pretty soon if they don't do it soon. And I think JST's losing some momentum here. Either they're all going to refresh, which could be the case, as like a second group comes in. So we're gonna go ahead and glance over here at the other pass. I think they're refreshing anyways. BLN still has the pass. A lot of field fighting. See if we can't see who's all over here. I think it's kind of the same situation where some of these BLN players are pushed too far, and 2238 is pushing on this left side. So I don't know if they're going somewhere. That's 75, 1875. Yeah, they're over here too. So BLN's and OG's getting a little bit extended on this right side, I feel like, because the left side is collapsing a little bit. I think that this is the murder ball from 2238, something like that. They really need to kind of pull this marches back and push this away, and then kind of keep going with it. And I haven't seen Constantine and Mulan in I don't know how long. I think that's a max Mulan though. I haven't seen Constantine on the field in forever though. So slow, so sad. He's probably being punished right there. He's probably getting punished. But definitely OG and BLN is definitely trying to push here. Kind of a similar story on both passes for JST 365 here, as they're pushing pretty hard here. I think the Kings lands in like 3 days, so it should be like this Saturday or something like that, Saturday or Sunday. So if they're still at these passes and still holding like this in like 3 days, roughly 3 days, we'll try to stream that Kings land opening. Since it's the weekend, it should be a little bit more flexible on when I can stream and stuff like that. Should be at the same time as this, like noon on like a Saturday or Sunday. So I should be able to stream that. I'll just have to figure out when it is exactly. Like what day, if it's Saturday or if it's Sunday. I would imagine it's Saturday. Imagine Saturday, but it could be Sunday. I really, really hope that 216 gets some good opponents though in this next KVK. I really need it, so be excited for this next 40 minutes, see who we get, because I really, really hope we get an Imperium. Even though I know we can probably not take an Imperium, I want to at least fight with an Imperium, or like somewhere along the line be in an Imperium KVK. That'd be really a lot of fun. I feel like, even though we're not on that level, I feel like we could be a good support to an Imperium Kingdom. So even if we don't, like, I would say control anything because it's Imperiums, but definitely have to see how that would go. Rather be in the same camp rather than be just allies, because that doesn't really usually work out very well. A lot less, I don't know if it's like decisions on our part, probably is what I'm kind of saying. But BLN and OG are still pushing at this pass, doing pretty much the similar strategy as JST did a long time ago, which is try to keep everybody stacked at the pass and only grab the people in and just smash them and send them back. You don't see a lot of them like off to the side too much. A lot of just like right here in the middle here for the most part. Even though I think they might be getting pushed here because they're losing some ground. And it could be a lot of lag because there's a lot of marches still just standing around. And a lot of this right side from BLN and stuff's probably lag. But a lot of it I think retreated already. We'll see if JST is started to rally on that fort on the other side, but I imagine they're back at the pass because it looked like from what I was seeing they were getting kind of pushed because they needed to refresh, and 875 had the troops on the field still. They didn't. Still have some BLN and OG pushing this right side, which I don't think they should be. They really need to push this left side and just break this murder ball that's on this left side with that's 2238 stuff. They need to try to break that murder ball up. Try and refresh this a little bit, see how it's actually going. Still a lot of marches, but I feel like there's a little bit of lag there, so try and get that. Do you think T4 has a chance in SOC? Yes. Imperium KVK, it's going to be hard. In SOC itself, yes. I, on my second account, use a lot of mix. I have an alt account and I have a restart account. So my alt account has T5 technically, but I use a mix of T4 and T5. It's not as much punch, but if you do that, you save a lot of resources. You just kind of have to play, I would say, not as aggressive as you could be with full T5. Like on my main account, full aggression. Like I'm going to go after you most of the time. Full T5, but mix T4 and T5, play kind of protective of yourself and know that you're not going to have as much punch as a full T5 player. You're going to have to kind of grab people as they come in kind of person, kind of stuff like that. Full T4 I have on my restart account. I did a stream, I don't want to say like a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago with that account. It's full T4, doesn't have T5. I'm getting close to T5, but it's really low spend, like just a gem supply, so it's going to take me some time to get to T5 on that account, but I think I got 5 million kills last KVK with only T4. And I have, I would say, not the best commanders, but you have to play, I would say, very, very cautiously with T4. Very, very cautiously, because you're going to have to realize that if a T5 player gets a hold of you and you don't have full tech, like you're getting like if you're using T4 and have T5 tech, it's much different than using T4 without T5 tech. With all the health and bonuses that you can attack and defense, because if you don't have all that, you're gonna get melted, and you're gonna have to kind of live with being melted sometimes if you don't have your max tech still using T4. If you're using T4 with T5, you have the tech, you'll be okay, but you'll still survive and be much tankier. But if you don't have the stats just from normal tech, there's just gonna be a few times you're just gonna get melted, like absolutely 2 seconds, it's gone. Like that's I've kind of come to realize that and kind of play to the back of the murder ball and stuff like that. Hit the stuff that play like scroll out with dots and stuff and play that way has been the best for that account, because I can't just be in the front and push. There's a rally, probably Attila. Is that Henry rally? Really? Surprised by that. Henry rally, I think, on the pass, possibly. It's a mistake, I feel like, because it's going to get swarmed to snot out of it with Tamara's debuff.
and you saw that for about 3 seconds and it's gone. That was a mistake. Just play very cautiously with T4. You can definitely do it. You're not getting 30 million kills. It is. I don't think so. It'd be very hard if you're using only T4. It'd be a lot of grinding, like farming, to get 30 million. But you could probably get 10 to 20 if you have T5 tech with T4. And then if you don't have T5 tech, I'd say you'd be pushing max 10 mil max, because you just don't have the punch. You're going to be losing basically every trade, but you're saving on the resources. So it definitely works. I would say it's much more relaxing to use T4 than T5 because you don't have to worry about the resource cost. Like on my second account, I think I had maybe 500 million resources of everything, 500 million. And I still have resources now after KVK. It wasn't like a super hard KVK. It was a good KVK, but it just saves so much resources that it's so much more relaxing to use T4. So just have to play cautiously. And in Imperium KVK, like this one, no, not really. You're gonna get melted and you're not gonna have a lot of fun. I feel like you're really gonna have to have T5 in a KVK like this. But in A Kingdom or anything lower than that, you'd be fine. You'd be completely fine. Imperium KVK is just too many 400,000 marches running around that just melt you. Just too many. But otherwise, it's just more relaxing, so. I think that OG and BLN here are still kind of stalemated with 2238, so we're just going to go ahead and scroll out and go view the other side and see if there's any change. I would imagine maybe a pass rally from 1875, 2244. And JST still has the field here. They are been pushed. They have been pushed. It could be that they got pushed back further than earlier. But JST is still holding their own a little bit. I do think they've lost a lot of their momentum though. And a lot of it's getting pushed away. There's a lot of reinforcements coming for 875 here. Once they all come in, they're just going to stack up and push this ball back to like this area. There is a JST rally going for a 4. I really wouldn't be using archers right now. I don't think it's a good idea. They don't really have the field over here. They don't really have the field, especially when there's more and more coming from 875. I honestly don't know if I'd worry about even rallying this fort yet. Because the last rally got swarmed the snot out of it with Talmera's 15 stacks and it just went bye-bye, like nothing. So, we'll see. There's going to be AoE on this rally, but I think it's going to get swarmed. There's a big difference in white damage on this rally and garrison. Whoever's garrisoning this fort is probably not max tech. Because, I mean, it's like a 2-to-1 almost for normal attacks. It could be max tech, but it may be because they're using YSS that is so much higher normal tech. They really should be using Flavius, to be honest. I feel like that would definitely punish this rally much more. But it's like 20k to like closer to 30k. So Xeno's putting out like 60k damage, and the rally's doing like 80k. They cancel that. They must not have been getting enough reinforcements, but I think the rally was doing okay. But I knew that I think they might get swarmed if they didn't cancel, because there's a lot coming in from 875 now. There's a lot of JST coming back for another push on this fort area. So I definitely think that 875 is stacked up enough that they can kind of like hold this again against
1365. So
I'm trying to think, but should be crafting some gear maybe in the next like week and a half on my main account. Not sure yet. I need to probably make an accessory because I have my archer set done and I'm wanting to do like a Xeno and Flav garrison, but I don't have the infantry equipment for it. So I'm waiting to see what the next inf is, but I can't really do that also because I need the new archers because it kind of sucks. So I might be making like an accessory or something in the next week or so I can help my field marches out, because I think that with the calves being very powerful this KVK, maybe being powerful this KVK, we'll see. I don't know how much archer rallies I'm going to be able to do. That all depends. The 2240, yeah. So still a small amount of 2244 pushing here. These people for JST here getting a little bit punished. But I would imagine most of them are over here fighting this bigger murder ball with 875. So we'll go ahead and see what the other side's doing here in just a second, but I imagine it's very similar to this. But gear-wise on my main account here, I think that an accessory would do really well. Like I was kind of talking about, because I got accessories on my marches, but not legendaries all the way through. So I really need to make like the, I think it's the defense one. Because I have a lot of these, well, Trajan for some reason didn't have it, but I have a lot of the books made. And I do believe I need to make like a web or something like that to try to buff up the damage I can deal based on like debuffs and stuff. Because I'm probably going to be maxing tech this KVK if it's a good fight. If it's not a good fight, I ain't going to do it. Because I don't want to. I did last KVK and it wasn't a big enough fight and I felt kind of bad about it. I will eventually need to upgrade this equipment from archers to all legendaries like this one, because I need to have full legendaries and everything, but until then I do need to work on my equipment overall, because I'm getting a lot of still epics on a lot of my marches. So I have basically 3 good sets where it's mostly legendaries and mix, but there's still a lot of epic stuff going on in here. So I probably need to start doing like the accessories, try and get me another web, and then maybe start picking up a ring every KVK, and then slowly but surely start making all this stuff legendaries for archers probably first, or finish off each cav in our imp set, which I might do, because then over time, depending on what I'm doing, I could refine this set and get another set like this for cav or infantry, and all I have to do is have the print instead of having to have all of the materials for like making a new one, because it's much easier to refine than it is to make new stuff all the time, which is why I'm a little bit behind on some of my equipment overall, and I have felt it. It's because I've refined this set a lot, but definitely need to work on probably making all my sets legendary eventually. Making sure they're all like the same kind of set. Maybe finishing off Imp. Probably gonna finish off the Imp set first because the Cav set's probably good enough with the health set and stuff. But definitely need to work on the all my sets, honestly, because refining gear takes a lot out of you, materials wise. If I hadn't refined that set, I'd probably have 2 or 3 sets of legendary gear instead, like full legendary Cav, full legendary Imp, and probably even another full set of Archer. So JST is being pushed back to the past here. I think they all refreshed at about the same time, which is what caused them to kind of just all dip out at the same time. But I think they may push back out here. We're gonna go ahead and go glance at the other pass and see if they pushed out over here any more than they have on this other side, or if there's a rally on the pass or something. So seeing a similar to what we were seeing before, where BLN is definitely pushing out with OG here and keeping kind of the pressure up on this left side, and this right side looks like it's collapsed already from 1365. I think that 1365 is going to need to just honestly regroup. It's hard to tell if there's more of one or the other, because there's a lot of AFK. A lot of AFK. Also, just want to remind you guys, I usually don't say it, but don't forget to drop a like on the stream. I'd really appreciate it if you haven't already. It helps me out, helps out the channel. Really want to push us to 1,000 subs as soon as I can, so that we can try to get some more, a better community over time. So really would appreciate it. So as BLN and OG here are still pushing out the pass, similar story to what we were seeing, so we'll see if they can push out, but I think they really just need to regroup and push as a group, because I think they're getting kind of stalemated right now. That or there's just a lot of lag when there's a lot of AFK. I'm not sure what if I'm going to be maxing any commanders on my main account for a while. That's what I'm wanting to kind of do, is just for, I guess, everybody's that's still here knowledge, is I'm going to try to like max the next archers probably after the first wheel for the first archer, depending on some things. If I have plenty of sculptures, definitely going to do that and do the testing. Kind of like what Chiskel and some of the other ones, like Flesh, he maxed the calves usually right away. Usually he maxed Joan already, I think. Try to do something like that and start doing something like that where I'm doing like the archers and stuff, and I have a good set of equipment, so I could always go against somebody else that has decent equipment, or just do no equipment, and you can see what those kind of test results are. I think I have like 400 heads right now, something like that, so I've got like 3 to 6 months probably to get enough for it. I just don't want to like take the chance that I don't have enough sculptures, because I need like 1350, something like that, probably roughly, because I'll get some from the wheel, I'll get some from maybe MG and stuff like that. So I need a lot of sculptures still. I need like 1,000, so maybe not that many, but it is in that area. Depending on if I'm gonna do it right away, and if we're gonna be going into KVK, it all depends. May not do it right. Well, let's see. Really depends. I would have the gear for it, but they have to be pretty enticing commanders. If we get some new garrisons for archers, I probably will max them. If it's another rally, though, it really depends if I know that they're going to go really well with like Boudica or Henry. If not, if it goes well with Gilga, I don't have Gilga, so kind of missed that train. So we'll see about that. That's kind of my thought process when it comes to new commanders for archers. Because I know I don't have enough sculptures to do the imp, even though I want to. And I don't have the equipment, but I could always fix that over time. We're seeing a little bit of BLN push out on the right side a little bit here, but mostly it's just left side, just constant stalemate. No one's really getting the upper hand on this side. Same thing on the other side. 875 and 365, just they're still just bashing heads against the wall, it feels like. We got about 20 more minutes, and we're gonna see who these opponents are here. Like I was saying earlier, probably at the beginning of the stream, 284 kingdoms, so should be getting a hopefully getting a really good match here pretty soon. I do think in 20 minutes they'll show us. At least that's the way it's been the last couple times. So unless unless they've changed it in the recently, then we should be able to see who it is. I do know that last KVK in my restart though, it was bugged. So it showed kingdoms we'd been with before and we weren't actually with them and it was just bugs. So I had to take it with a grain of salt because I know that like maybe 8 hours after the like match is shown, it can change. So I have seen that. I made the video on it. It was so dumb. I knew it was kind of probably bugged, but it turned out to be a better KVK because it was bugged, because after that we were paired with basically two Imperiums, which they were Imperium because the others were out of Imperium, but it helped us get a better match and have a much better KVK on that account. Now, when I see this rally, if it's going to be another Archer rally, that's just sad. It's another Henry. Like, why? This is going to get swarmed the snot out of it. You'll see Tommy debuff pretty soon. I don't even know why they're sending this rally. Tommy debuff is going to go bye-bye real fast now. And wee. I don't know why they keep sending that. It's so bad. Like literally OG and BLN are right at the pass entrance. Why are you sending that rally? You're getting absolutely smashed. You could be getting good trade on the counterattack, but I would have to think against JST and 365 you're not. You get even trade if you're lucky, but maybe they are. That would be my only reason they send that, but I would send Attila to Takeda if they're going to swarm it, like, get the super counterattack. But still a lot of AFK, it feels like, on both sides of this pass here for some reason. Oh, there's an Edward. He's getting too close to the pass, he's going to get smashed. Now he ran away. It's so bad to bring Edward right now, especially in an Imperium KVK. It's gonna hurt so much. You get smashed like all the time. All the time. I feel a lot of this is just AFK marches that aren't lagging out so well. Let it load up a little bit. And go back in and see if that helps it out a little bit. Because there's still a lot of marches here, but I just feel like there's a lot of maybe AFK a little bit. But they're all still here, so I feel like it's just server lag. A lot of this on the left side here just looks like it's lagged out. Just a lot of field fighting in this KVK. I think it's going to be a while before they stop field fighting and just start rallying stuff. They're rallying stuff pretty much most of the day before this. Well, not most of the day before this, but most of the time before this. Like at the beginning of the stream and before this, they were just rallying all the time. I think that since BLN and OG took this pass, it's going to be a lot more field fighting than it's going to be rallies. The BLN and OG just haven't been able to push through this pass, I think, pretty much since, like, 17 UTC, I think it was today. I don't think they've been able to really push through that pass very much. So we're going to check again the side, but I imagine JST's back at the pass, pretty close to it. Yeah, still pretty close to the pass here. Let's see if we load in anything else, but it looks like both sides are kind of still stalemated, or they're refreshing on one side. Because 875 is going to push JST here pretty soon. There's a lot of marches on the right side here that are coming in, and that march is dead. I don't know why. It's probably going home either way. Definitely lagged out or something because he's just chasing stuff. But I'm guessing this is 2244, or is this partially JST? So BLN is down here too. Exclamation point. Maybe the same alliance, I'm not sure. I haven't checked that too hard. Here's a Gilga and probably Henry report. See if we can't get report maybe. See if we can't get the report on this Gilga Henry. They're gonna start swarming. Nope, that's double C. That's reinforcing. Never mind. Xeno Flab though is gonna be hard to hurt. The JST does have the field, so this does look like a pretty even trade though. It all depends if they can keep stuff in infantry into this flag or not. Because JST is trying to hold the field and basically just, wouldn't be surprised if here pretty soon they swarm this flag. There's still a lot of JST reinforcements all just hanging around, JG and JST. There's very few 875 players over here. JST is just swarming the snot out of them, sending them home. And then but they're getting cut off in the pass. I think that's gonna be the issue. I think they'll probably have to cancel this rally because they're getting cut off from the pass. And they are swarming this flag. They are not afraid to burn it. But they're keeping that flag reinforced. They need like everybody's gonna swarm. I think they just gave the call and now everybody here next to this flag is swarming this flag. So I think this flag's probably gonna burn. They are keeping it reinforced. That march needs to go. Because they got people just swarming, surrounding this flag. I feel like there's more spots open, but maybe it's just lag. Some of these marches need to go though, because there's more of them ready to go. Getting real close to that burn. That rally though is getting low. I think they're swarming that rally too. Yeah, it's getting Tommy debuffed. But I think they're gonna get the burn because there it goes, it popped. They took the few seconds to swarm that Gilga rally and they lost the flag. Well, they burned the flag, but everybody here that's from JST and JG is gonna get smashed because unless they go back right away, all this 875 here is just gonna. At least it was mostly 875. They must have got pushed away, or they're all colliding here. They must all just be colliding. So actually it's much more even fight than I thought it was going to be because 875 didn't just push down on them. They let them push back from both sides. So it'll be a pretty even fight here, and I think that probably 1365 has the advantage because 875 is kind of splitting off. There's a lot of marches up top right and to like top left that are just walking away, which is where JST and JG marches are starting to appear a lot more. Well, they did get this burn, which accomplishes basically nothing, but it's more of a morale thing, I feel like. Still got 875 at the top, but a lot of JST just refreshing completely, and then there's a lot of coming in, so that's something that I've kind of taken away from this, is that you want to make sure that people are trying to refresh in large groups, which I would say is pretty hard to do unless you're all on Discord or you all are really good players. Not necessarily really good players, but understand things a lot better. If you could call out a major like refresh and stuff like that like they do, because like there's all these players just going back. All of them are going back. A lot of them are leaving this group down here. Even all the marches that were there, they just streamlined them home, and then fresh ones are coming in instead of like going back one at a time. A lot of them go back at the same time, which really does help out. It's something you could, if you could master it like these guys do, it's really, really good, because then this fresh ball is going to push this 875 ball real hard, because this 875 is not ready for it because they don't have as many people. It's going to hurt them a little bit. So we did get that Gilga Henry report here. It looks like it was actually well reinforced compared to what you would normally think. It was a slightly positive trade for the rally. Mostly T5 in this garrison with all inf. It's probably pretty much full T5s in this flag, like 90% at least. Troop buffs here. I think you could have picked some better skills for the rally. Really, you'd want the YSS, which you may not have YSS, so that's what it is. But I really think if you could replace this Guardian of Valencia with something else, it'd probably help you out with. If you could use like YSS in this skill, you'd probably do a lot more damage. A lot more damage. Looks like iconics and stuff are right on point. All damage is probably good enough. 21% is probably decent. And more than decent, but I don't remember if it's like 18. So it must be like the all damage, yeah. So this guy actually has max all damage on the left, and then right side has all damage extra from Flavius that shows up. So they're both max tech obviously, but one side's slightly more all damage because of skills that don't really apply. But we have a lot of JST refreshing, and they've pushed this down again. That was the benefit of them just refreshing all those people at the same time. They're still the push. There's still people coming to push. There's still T4 on the field from JST. 90 million power player using T4. I think that's T4 at least. It might just be bugged. I think it is T4, but it looks weird. So sad, Attila. 2244 is getting pushed here. 875 is stacking up though. I think that's the disadvantage for 875 is they're just so far away that they have to walk all the way from back this way, all the way from back over here to get up here. So they're almost the same distance as JST is from the same spot, which kind of gives them a disadvantage because all these 2244 cities I feel like aren't helping because a lot of it's down here and there's not a lot of them around. It could have been from a different time zone that they'd be more of them, but it really feels like 875 is pulling a lot of the weight, like I was saying earlier, right now at least. That's a YSS and Ethelfled, or is that Caesar? I don't know what that is. That's a weird march. But let's see about the music. See if it gets a little bit different. Not sure if I'll like this soundtrack or not, but we'll see. So we'll probably go ahead and glance at the other side of the pass. But here in like 5 minutes, we have our opponent reveal for 216, which is what I'm ready for. And then we'll probably wrap the stream up once we get the opponents figured out and hopefully have a good KVK coming up for us. I'll try to stream as much as I can, as much as I possibly can for that KVK because I really want a good KVK. Haven't had one for a while. I think BLN and OG's getting pushed this side a little bit more than they were earlier though. Compared to what they were earlier, they're getting pushed a little bit more. Trying to see if there was a rally. I guess not a rally. It's just the pass. I wouldn't be surprised to see a rally on the pass here pretty soon from 2238. I don't remember if it's 2238 or 2338. Yeah. One of those numbers, they all sound very similar because they're all 2000 numbers. Most of them are. Still seeing a few. What? I think there's some 70. That's 75 or is that? Yeah. For some reason, a lot of 75 and 2338 are engaging a little bit over on the sides. I'm not sure what. Is that the only song I had on that playlist? Let's see if we have a different one. Oops. Okay. I only have one on this one too. That sucks. Well, we'll listen to this one and we'll see if we can't find something else here real fast. BLN and OG are getting pushed here, it looks like to me, but it's very hard to tell because none of the marches are showing the names. So it could just be like a complete brawl right now. I haven't listened to this song for a while, this tune, so it's not too bad. Got about 2 more minutes and we'll be seeing our opponents. I'll refresh the game, give it a few minutes here, and then we'll see if we can see our opponents. Why? Just why? I think it's gonna get obliterated again. Is that XY Joan or what was that? I'm trying to figure out what that XY has. Wee, Henry, goodbye. I don't know why they keep sending that rally so bad. I don't know what XY that XY had. That XY over here had something. That Henry rally though, man, so bad. Can you make a legendary tier list investment guide or video? So honestly, that's been on my list for a long time. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I'll try to put that up on a list to do. It's just gonna be it's one of those lists that I'm gonna have to like try to make like a spreadsheet or a like a not I wouldn't say it like a spreadsheet, but like a trying to think of the word. Kind of like a spreadsheet, and I have to try and take my time and like actually like do it. So I'll try to put that on my list to do in the next couple weeks, next week or two. So yeah, I'll try to do that. I haven't listened to this soundtrack either, so definitely different from the other ones. But definitely, I'll put that on my list to try and do. So, should have opponent revealed here in a minute, so let me go ahead and reset the game real quick and see if we get the opponent found. Still says finding match. I swear it was not 5 more days. Oh my gosh. It better not be 5 more days till we know. That's we so stupid. I swear it wasn't like that before. I could have sworn it was like 3 days of registering and matchmaking at the same time, not separate. That's gross. So, well, I think they changed something because I don't feel like that was the way it was. I could have swore from last KVK it was different, but that's disappointing a little bit to me. But oh well, I guess we'll figure it out in 5 days. That's a very long matchmaking time too. I feel like it was usually like 3 days. So, I do appreciate all you guys here from who were here from the beginning and have watched the stream throughout the evening here. I need to go ahead and get cleaned up and some stuff and relax for the evening because it's getting a little bit later in the evening for me. So I appreciate all you guys watching this video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tune in probably tomorrow for another stream. I have 365 still fighting. I'll try to stream for a little bit less time than tonight because today's stream was a little bit long for me. But I'll see you guys on the next one. So thank you for watching.